On behalf of our OF BJP, we all thank you and being here in Dallas celebrating,
Jai Andhra,
Modi's the recent victories and all things enlightening us. Thank you, Kishore.
Thank you for the warm reception, and it is such a short notice.
Yeah, thank you
And,
For everyone
for sharing
for
a lot of
coming.
information about the central government visionary. And no,
No, you can record.
Yeah, good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm glad that Kishore ji is here with all of us, and it's his personal trip, but I forced him to come here and meet all of us. So yeah, Kiran Dasari. Yeah. So basically, Kishore ji is spokesperson of BJP Telangana state, and he has been into the party for the last couple of decades, and he's an intellectual and a good analyst, political analyst, I can say. And he is one of the very few persons who is like, who deserve a great position in the politics, state politics, Telangana. So that's why I really admire him and his speeches in debates also, in the TV channels and everywhere. So that's why I requested him to be meet all of us. So thank you, Kishore ji, for coming on.
Thank you. Actually, just wanted to be among friends. That's it. At least, even if we meet for the first time, we just wanted to meet our own people and have some, spend some time with you. That's it. As you already mentioned, this is a personal trip. I came over here, but Kiran Garu said, okay, the idea was that we two would meet. Then it expanded into, okay, there are more of our friends and all. Why should we? And manandram kalisi kaluddam kada ani cheppante. Then we said, okay, in evening gathering just to, meet some of our friends. That would be a great idea. And then we. It was a short notice. All of you came at a very short notice. Sorry for the short notice first thing, because this was not. That's why I said it's not planned. Sorry for the short notice, and thanks very much for coming at such a short notice. I had the honor of getting introduced to all of you and meeting all of you. Thank you.
So please share your experiences, what you have been watching in the central government transformation of technology and also changes. And also a message to the NRIs who are interested to either invest or spend some time, whatever it is, okay, to contribute our country, motherland.
Yeah. So I lived in the US for more than a decade. I was in the San Francisco Bay Area, worked in startups, right? And then in 2010, I moved back. 2014, actually the demonetization was the most triggering event, because when I moved back, we had a software product development firm. We were working with startups here to develop their products from there. So the first few years were really busy and all of that stuff. I was immersed in that, but soon came the 2016, we had demonetization. Demonetization was a big trigger. It triggered a lot of political discussions, heated political discussions within India. Even among the tech-savvy people, non-tech-savvy people, everybody, right? So, that was the first trigger. Any one of you have a couple of $100 in your pockets right now? Right? Unte $40, $60, $20 bills, $20 bills, right? But I felt when the demonetization happened, the idea was to, what we see in US, all of us appreciate what we see in US.
Yes.
And when someone tries to do the same thing, doing the same thing is how it is done. How US did that, into a demonetized economy, right? It is not the same thing that we would be doing, because US did that ages ago, a long time ago. The situation then is different. So when that happened, I saw a lot of even those who appreciated the American way of doing things, right? అంటే ఇక్కడ నడిచినంతసేపు అసే అమెరికాలో అట్లా ఉంటుంది ఇట్లా ఉంటుంది చాలా గొప్ప అని అనుకున్న వాళ్ళు కూడా అక్కడ వచ్చి ఇది తప్పు స్టెప్ అని చెప్పి అంటే ఫండమెంటల్స్ మీద ఆర్గ్యూ చేయడము అనేది మొదలైన తర్వాత ఇంకా అర్థమైపోయింది. ఇక అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ ఐడియాలజికల్ అపోజిషన్ రాదర్ దాన్ వేర్ వి ఆర్. అండ్ యుఎస్ నేను ఒక దశాబ్దం పాటు ఇక్కడ ఉండి మనము చూసి అసలు ఇక్కడ ఉన్న పాజిటివ్స్ ఏంటి అనేది మనం చూసి అసలు అమెరికా ఈ స్టేజ్కి ఎట్లా వచ్చిందని చూసిన తర్వాత ఇండియాలో మనకి అంటే గత 30 years 40 years వీ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఐడియా వాట్స్ బీన్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. అంతకుముందు కూడా ఫ్రమ్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ ఏమైంది అనేది మనం చదువుకున్నాం కానీ బట్ ఐ వాజ్ నాట్ అలైవ్ టు ఆర్ ఐ వాజ్ నాట్ కాన్షియస్ ఇనఫ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఎట్ దట్ టైమ్. బట్ మీకు 2014 నుంచి ఆర్ 2016 వాజ్ ది ఫస్ట్ బిగ్ స్టెప్, రైట్? There is a huge transformation going on in India, and most of you, I mean, you visit India at least once in a year or 2 years or something like that, and every time you come back, I mean, when I came to the US, I started off from Begumpet Airport. మీరు అందరూ బేగంపేట ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ చూసారో లేదో. బేగంపేట ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ ఎట్లా ఉండేదో మనకు తెలుసు, ఏముండేదో మనకు తెలుసు. దెన్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఎ ఫ్యూ ఇయర్స్ దెన్ హెచ్ఏఎల్ ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ ఇన్ కర్ణాటక in the middle of the city, and you know the infrastructure and all that stuff, because I was there in the HAL airport good, ante I landed there or took off from there, so we all started from there. So from there to today, we used to go from either San Francisco to Hong Kong or Seoul airport, and then Singapore, and then to Hyderabad, right? All the way you see these global airports, right? And then when you go to India, your heart sinks, right? We have seen the world, we have seen how the airports across the world are, and you can extrapolate from there how those countries are. And then you land in India, Begumpet, right? And your entire what do you say, your heart sinks basically, right? And you feel small or whatever it is. I mean, we feel bad for our own country and where are we, what's happening, and pity, exactly. And 10 years later, 2024, now 25, right? 11 years later, you look at the national highways, right? You look at the, I mean, I'll tell you one fundamental shift that has happened, right? Recently, there was this GST reductions. Taxes were reduced dramatically, as a matter of fact. On some commodities, even 10%, from 28% to, let's say, 18%, or from 18 or 12% to 5%, that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, we go from, I'm sent to districts to have a conversation with, it could be a party event or just intellectuals meet or something like that. So, these details are with everybody. Even if you take a daily newspaper, they'll print, okay, cars are going to become this much cheaper, scooters are going to this much cheaper, and all that stuff. But the big picture, what I thought is, what I used to see today, since 2014, since Modi ji came to power, personal income taxes have gone down. Personal income taxes have gone down. Now up to 12 lakhs, there is no personal income tax from this year. 12 lakhs. That is, every month you earn a lakh, you do not have personal income tax. You know what was the highest personal income tax in India?
30%.
Highest ever. 97.5% under Indira Gandhi in 1973. 97.5%. That means if you earn $100, you keep only $2.50 and give $97.50 to the government. Obviously, what you are encouraging is a total fraud, right? No one wants to give 97%, and or you don't want anyone to work. This is for income above 2 lakh rupees. So you don't want anyone to have motivation to even earn beyond 2 lakh rupees, right? So because if you earn a lakh more, you will get 2,500 rupees into your pocket
Per year.
So, yeah, people will start avoiding taxes, then income tax officers can come and they can demand bribe, and then this is what is going to happen, right? So from there, wherever we were in 2014, today personal income taxes have come down. Not just the 12 lakhs thing, but even the highest tax rate, the tax brackets have shifted, the amount of tax incidence has come down. And you know, corporate income taxes have come down. Corporate tax has come down. India is now competitive. See, if you want industrialization to happen, if you want economy to grow, we need companies, right? Foreign ones, Indian ones, whoever, they come set up. And they are only going to set up when the taxes on their income is also low, just like individual income. So we have got it competitive with other Asian and European or the rest of the world, competitive corporate tax rates. Thirdly, there are two ways governments tax. When you earn money, they tax, income tax. When you spend money, it's called sales tax. Even here also, everywhere else, GST, whatever, a goods and sales tax or services tax, or you call sales tax in some places, VAT, value-added tax in other places. So, expenditure taxes also, after bringing the GST, every time since the GST has come, no time have the taxes increased. They have only come down. Earlier instances, they have come down on fewer number of items, right? Because all states have to agree as well. It is not just the central thing, because it affects both states and centers' revenues. But this time, very significant shift, reforms, or you can say tax restructuring has happened, and this is all going down. So your income taxes went down, corporate income taxes went down, and your expenditure taxes also went down. But at the same time, while your taxes are going down, at the same time, Indian economy is growing at the fastest rate compared to any other country, right? We are the fastest growing large economy, at least a large economy, right? So, taxలు తగ్గుతున్నాయి, ఆర్థిక వ్యవస్థ విపరీత అంటే మిగిలిన దేశాలన్నిటికన్నా చైనా, అమెరికా, యూరోప్, వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ టేక్, రైట్? వీఆర్ ది ఫాస్టెస్ట్ గ్రోయింగ్ ఎకానమీ. Not only fastest growing economy, one second. Yeah, not only fastest growing economy, మీకు fastest growing ఇదే కాకుండా, but if you take the development, ఇప్పుడు that is what we were talking. I mean, from 75 airports we have come to 150 airports. We have almost 60% more national highways than what we had earlier, 2014. Within 10 years, 50% more highways, right? Lakhs of crores. Highest ever budget for infrastructure, right? More than 10 crore toilets you have built. Open defecation has gone down. Self-respect, whatever you, those things. And housing, around 4 crore homes we have built, right? Gas connections, total saturation model, right? We want every house to have, every woman to have gas, electricity. 18,000 villages that never saw electricity, saturation, 100% villages covered with electricity, right? Gas, Kishore. Yeah. So, gas, electricity, toilets, housing, right? And on top of it, health insurance. 5 lakh rupees worth of health insurance, so that, I mean, the basic necessities, right? And 5 kgs rations and all that stuff, whatever basic necessities are taken care of by the government. So, while you reduce your taxes, while the government is reducing its taxes, right? While the government is collecting less taxes from you, from the citizens, development has been going, right? Has been making a, what do you say, తెలుగులో అయితే పరిగెట్టిస్తున్నారు అని అంటాం. It's running, right? So, and on the other hand, even welfare is the same thing, right? Even welfare programs. I talked about housing, toilets, gas, electricity, health insurance, whatnot, right? And did you notice that while all of this spending is happening and your economy is, the Indian economy is growing the fastest, the inflation, right? During even COVID time, I think US had one of the highest rates of inflation that we haven't seen in 40 years or something like that, right? And Europe similarly had. But inflation had been under control in the single digits. Actually, while it was under the Harvard, Cambridge educated finance ministers, it was in double digits. But the Chaiwala economics, under the Chaiwala prime minister, it never crossed double digits, right? Today it is around 2%.
Yes.
So this has been the equation. On the other hand, because I am from Telangana and Karnataka story is similar, you'll notice, Congress is in power in 3 states only. Telangana, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh. You know, Himachal Pradesh, they are unable to give salaries to their employees.
Similar in other 2 states too.
First, they came to power in Himachal, I think, or whatever. Now, for months, they are not able to. And the increase in salaries that we have given, the BJP government earlier has given, they have once again gone back on that. Right? And government employees, that is the first thing, right? Employees, I mean, we have to meet the payroll. Otherwise, actually, here, if we don't pay the payroll taxes and all, you'll be in jail kind of a thing, right? And yes. So, first of all, they don't have money to do the payroll. Now, that means they don't have money for other things. And in Karnataka, every other thing, just yesterday I was looking at a poster in the WhatsApp, this thing, right? So electricity charges increased by this much, water charges increased by that much, milk prices increased by this much, there's this. So same thing, in Karnataka also, the charges increased. The government taxes or charges on the citizens increased. While at the same time, and in Telangana also it's the same thing. Telangana also it's the same thing. You have a central government where taxes have been consistently decreasing, but you have the fastest growing economy, and both welfare and development have been firing on all cylinders. Firing on all cylinders, right? And you have Congress governments, 3 Congress government, and see the consistency. Your taxes go up, their taxes go down, right? And then your debt goes up, state debt goes up. The treasury is empty. You don't have money for...
The packets of whole entire Congress ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
They have only 3 states.
Exactly. So you don't have money for, I mean, what do the ministers say? You don't have money for, when you don't have money to pay your employees, obviously you don't have money for development or welfare. So the promises, if you take the 5 guarantees in Telangana or the more than 400 promises they have made in their manifesto, they are unable to fulfill. And the Chief Minister of Telangana says, even if you tear me apart, right, you will not be able to find an extra rupee. You tear me apart, right? Like Narsimha Avataram, right? You tear me apart, you can't find a single rupee. You will not be able to find an additional rupee. So we don't have money. So what is the difference between, there one government decreases your taxes, makes your economy go fastest, right? And development and welfare fires on all cylinders. You have other governments which increase your taxes, increase the charges, but no money for either development nor... What is the difference between these two? And that is the difference that happened in the last 10, 11 years. Since I was there, right? What is the difference? I mean, one serves, I mean, as far as I can say, one serves the nation.
Right.
Or I would say one word, niyat antar kada. Sincerity, right? I think that's the only difference, right? Between what Modi ji is doing or the central government is doing, how they are doing it, versus what's happening, how you come to power. The way you come to power also has an impact on how you run your administration, right? Once you come back to power, how you run the government. So, I think the difference, and what I have seen in the last 10 years of going back to India, and this thing is, I see, I mean, we have seen China in the last 40 years. This is what I feel. I mean, I've seen America, and we have seen, there has been a transformation from our sides also. We came here earlier while in India, I mean America, right? Then we came here, we saw they are also people like us. Even the Americans are people like us. Yeah, people like us. We can, I mean, we are not something low. We work with them on a daily basis, right? And we are doing better, just like any other employee of a company in a team. If there are 10 people, just because of our nationality or our culture, we are not the worst performers or anything. In some places, we are the best performers. So that means There's nothing inherently, there's nothing within us which is keeping us down, right? That once you realize, obviously India can also grow, because it's made up of people like us, right? And people are the biggest resource for any country. And China has shown us, they started off on that process like 20 years earlier than us, right? Reforms or whatever. Deng Xiaoping, he started saying with this thing that if it's a black cat or a white cat, if it's socialism, capitalism, that's the point actually, communism or capitalism. It doesn't matter if it's a black or white cat.
Right.
All that matters is it catches mice,
Nice.
rats.
Yeah.
Ante kada. That it performs. So then they shifted 20. And what were we doing at that time? Just around that time, we were doubling down on socialism. We were nationalizing. They were privatizing. We were nationalizing. They were letting in private companies. They were doing that. We were actually nationalizing banks. We were actually pushing out companies from India. And then another two decades lost, and today China is ahead and we are back. And then a lot of opportunities that China got, like in terms of a friendly American this thing, because they thought at that time America was ahead and then China had an advantage. Because now China has grown so far that America is also somewhat uncomfortable with supporting countries, I mean, especially with supporting India to rise. I mean, because they've seen what happened with China. That's at least my understanding, right? So, missed opportunities, lot of missed opportunities. But last 10 years, while I was on the ground actually from 2010 to 25, right? 15 years I was on the ground. 14 say, like, especially 16 say, when the Big Bang thing started off with demonetization. And relentless things. I mean, from very small things like decriminalizing a lot of old laws, removing them, decriminalizing a lot of things. I mean, late filing of something could actually potentially put you in jail. Those kind of things they have reduced, I mean, made it into fines. A lot of reforms, gradually, but even though they have been done, I mean, it's not like a, what do you say, typhoon or tsunami. I mean, big these things, but every day you have incremental changes that are happening, making the system better and better and better and better. So I would say, I mean, we are the 4th largest today, running towards becoming the 3rd largest. And there is one important thing I just wanted to say on all this. But can this happen? It could have happened 50 years ago, the same kind of transformation. It could happen even 50 years from today. Is that what you believe?
Yes. If somebody did not step up.
Now, can it happen again 50 years from today?
I mean, it's all again, we may miss the opportunity, right? So for now, at least it is happening for now. We have Modi, who is dedicated for the country and the growth of the country. It is happening now, and every Indian must be happy about it.
Yeah. But if it does not happen now,
know.
do you think this window is a golden window? It will not be possible after 50 or 30 years.
Exactly.
Because you know why?
So how
Every economy, exactly, every economy, and maybe not the same exact demographic change that you are referring to, but every economy you take from whenever historical this thing, right? It is dependent on population. And today we have what is called demographic dividend. That means we have more young people in the working age as compared to more dependent people.
Yeah, or average age is 29. We have
More productive people. The ratio is in our favor, and we have humongous amounts of that. If you do not see, escape velocity and even Rahul Gandhi was saying poverty ke baare mein kuch bol raha tha. But escape velocity is from one orbit, if you want to go to the other orbit, normal travel does not. You need extra boost, right? So from a developing economy, if you want to get to a developed economy, it needs a lot of ingredients to come into place. One of them is demographic dividend working in our favor. And exactly the same demographic dividend also worked in favor of China because of their one-child policy. Now they have more 40-year-olds than 4-year-olds.
4-year-olds.
So in another 10 years, you will have more 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds than working age. So for every working person, there will be 2 retired people they will have to support.
Yeah, that becomes a burden, big burden.
It is like this, right? So usually you will see pyramid like this, demographic pyramid. More births and less old people, more young people. But now the China thing is like this. Less births, right? And bulge in the middle, like the stomach area. There is a huge bulge. That means 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and they will be 60, 70 in next 10, 20 years. So productivity gains that it had over the last 2-3 decades, it had when there was huge demographic dividend in China's favor. That demographic dividend right now we have. And you have heard of even what depopulation. Every other country replacement ratio, it has come down beyond below replacement rate. Even Korea, they have like 1.6 or 1.4 or whatever it is. 2.1 is the Japan, right? Even Middle East also. Europe is down. America is sustaining because of a lot of migration, and then those migrants having more babies and all of that kind of stuff. America is one bright spot, but every other place, even India also. India also, a lot of states like Telangana, Tamil Nadu are below replacement rate.
Right.
So we have the best demographic dividend right now. Are we going to have the same thing 50 years from now?
No.
We are not. So if you have to jump from one orbit to the next, there is a window of time. You have to do this in the next 20, 30 years. Then it might be centuries again for you to get to an opportune moment like this, where everything comes in our favor. That is why right now, whatever happens in the next 15, 20 years in India, right? It is not only, things are happening good, so we are happy, right? One thing. But the opportunity cost we have, if we miss this window, our children will not have the opportunity, the next generation in India will not have the opportunity to live in a developed country. And it might not be possible for even our grandchildren or great-grandchildren for a while. I don't know when once again that cycle might come which favors India. So, because it's such a critical thing, now we were talking about sincerity. Someone who takes, just national development is their entire life goal, right? This is a mission mode thing. This is not just like regular any other 50 years or any other 25 years, right? This is not like that. This window is once in a, not even lifetime, once in a century maybe, once in a couple of centuries maybe, that kind of an opportunity for India. And that's why I would say, Modi ji being in power or BJP being in power is very, 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 very important. Not just because of the positive, but also because of the opportunity cost. If you miss this, maybe we are gone forever. And then that's it.
Nice.
So this is very informative session actually. This is. So in this scenario, I would like to ask you one question that I think most of the people, everyone is, I feel like entrepreneur here. So what kind of ecosystem that has been built for the last couple of decades in the India to support our entrepreneurs from the USA to do something in India?
In India, right? Okay. Yeah.
Like
So-
MSME schemes or startup schemes.
So basically, what I have noticed in US, right, the Bay Area, I worked in Silicon Valley or San Francisco Bay Area, right? What does the government do for startups in the Bay Area?
They create environment, loans, tax benefits, infrastructure, tax benefits, free land. Nothing. Resources.
It doesn't do anything. What did it do for? What did it do for Google? What did it do for
Doesn't offer any
Facebook? What did it do for Facebook? What did it do for, let us say, Google? What did it do for?
They don't meddle with the ease of business.
100%.
They do the ease of
That
business. Right?
they stay out of the business. They don't meddle.
They let them do business.
This is what I found. Why in US things work is because the government stays out of your this thing. And I've noticed a few things also, right? My wife used to volunteer at a school when we had our second child. I used to go to that school and she used to volunteer. It is a community school. Preschool, basically, not school, preschool. So they maintain their own tax record, accounts and all that stuff, all volunteers. There will be one or two who are permanent, but million other volunteers. So the tax guy came. There was an audit. And you know how they treated them? They treated them as trying to help these guys. See, if you had made this mistake or that mistake, okay, this is how you should not be making that mistake. This is how you should, this is the practice that you should do. This is how you should maintain your books. So they did not treat, when they come for an audit, your mentality is in India or any other country, usually, when a tax guy comes for an audit, when a police comes to interview you, it is like you are already a criminal. I'll have to find what crime you did. I don't know you did, but I know you did some crime, but I don't know what the crime is, but I'll have to find now. I don't know how you avoided taxes, right? How you defrauded the government, but I'll have to find it now. Okay, I'll go on a fishing expedition. I am antagonistic to you. What I saw in the US is, whenever the government interfaced, especially that even the income tax thing, what I saw, right? It is not like you are fighting each other. In India, you want to go to the police, you want to go to the courts, you want to go to the tax authorities, your heart is filled with tension.
That is,
right?
I think that is because we still did not get rid of colonialism from our system.
Exactly.
I really feel that way whenever I visit.
Exactly. మనకి first land అయినప్పటి నుంచి airport లో you get that feel. Everyone is a potential smuggler.
Yes.
In America, you land, that guy will ask, hey, are you bringing anything? I don't know, food? Any food item? I have only sweets and packed sweets. No seeds, no nothing, right? Okay, go. It starts with trust.
The monitoring system
It default.
the monitoring system in US is more complicated than the monitoring system in India because they use their technology to streamline everything. And then when it comes to the people who is coming to you and asking you a question is very limited. But in India, everything starts from someone saying, people started watching you saying that if they suspect you, you are already a smuggler.
Yeah. So one thing I would say, Mirannadi, I slightly disagree with you on that one. It's not just the technology. By default, it defaults to, the government defaults to, when you are saying something, they default it to the truth.
Yeah, that is true, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
And
trust is
a
a
lot
little
of
bit higher.
trust, they normally trust you. When you say something, you would have observed this. In India, we have a company in India. I interview a lot of people, software guys. In India, the first thing a HR guy would do is take this resume and say if it is, isme kitna fake hai, kitna real hai.
Yes.
Have you ever faced that in America when we first? Whatever you give on the resume, they assume it is the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is true.
That's true.
It is not because they have the technology to find out that in India you did not do this course or you did this course or whatever it is. But they trust. It starts with, relation starts with trust, right? There it starts with distrust. And especially between the government and the individual I'm talking, not with neighbors and friends and all that. With government and individual, there it starts with distrust. And for a colonial system, Miranataga, obviously for someone colonized, they would have distrust because they are an imperial power.
Cops are given targets.
Even here also they have. Even here also there are certain kinds of targets, performance measurements and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is not just the cops, not just the customs officer, not just the income tax officer, not just anybody. Trust is.
Definitely.
You do not
trust
start
is the
with trust.
factor. Another factor is also, abusive, right? Indians, if you go there, over there in India, that, the people may abuse that, So over here, people feel more responsible also there.
So see what happens when I'll give you an example. See, same thing. Whether Indians are basically responsible, so the government has to be very strict or suspicious about people. మనోళ్ళంతా అరే వదిలేస్తే చాలా అన్యాయం చేస్తారు సార్ ఇది మజాక్ అనుకుంటున్నారా అందుకనే కంట్రోల్ ఉండాలి రైట్ But same thing, I used to, right, in India. Again, this is a this thing. But where do you piss?
International, like one flight from Singapore, one flight from Dubai, or something like that.
Certainly.
How many years it will take to do that for the government?
Okay.
Even airport also, Warangal airport is not developed.
Yes,
for
yes, yes,
We have
yes.
the very lowest airports
Okay.
in the world.
What about not only that, the mega textile park.
Yeah, mega textile.
What is the central government, man? In Telangana, it will not kickstart. You know, the tribal university they promised took like 10 years.
It depends a lot.
The coach factory thing. Once again, they said it is overhauling unit. Then they said it is railway manufacturing unit, but not this thing. Then they said, oh, the Congress very generously promised a steel factory at Bayaram. The government did not start the steel factory.